All right, I'm just going to set up a few things. Good happy Labor Day, everybody. All right, so let me just get started here. I'm excited to introduce to you a fantastic article that I came across. And if I click right here, the article is called Teaching the Arts as a Second Language, a School-Wide Policy Approach to Arts Integration by Brittany Harker Martin. And essentially, here we go. This is what the article that I was looking at. I want to kind of introduce with a very poignant quote by Elliot Eisner, who is kind of like the leading guy in arts integration. And he opens up this article by saying, in a metaphorical sense, becoming multiliterate means being able to inscribe or decode meaning in different forms of representation. Another poignant phrase that I pulled from the article to kind of introduce this little talk is, it is not enough to have the chance to draw in order to accurately express ourselves through drawing. More is required. So this article presents the case for teaching the arts as a second language, which I'm fascinated with. I feel like it parallels with a lot of the things that I am trying to do. I firmly believe that art is a language. And so I was jazzed when I came across this article, introducing it as, or instructing it, implementing it within a curriculum as the same way you would do a second language. So it provides requisite principles, 9 of them, and I'll go over them with you, for a school-wide arts integrated program. And they call it the Arts as Second Language Policy. Through the school-wide initiative of instructing arts as a second language policy, students and teachers will be better positioned for successful learning and teaching in, about, and through the arts. Okay, so I'm using a software called The Brain. I think it's a really useful and interesting way to kind of explore a mind map. So the main topic, obviously, is arts as a second language. And there are all of these in purple are kind of like key terms I pulled from the article, different things that kind of like were poignant. So, analogy between art and language. So in this article, it's saying that teachers cannot provide adequate arts integration in schools that do not support or have mandated minutes or creative development. Okay. And so in order to solve that problem, there needs to be some kind of analogy between art and language. Another interesting thing, kind of relating to the Elliot Eisner quote I gave you, we can look and see, oh, that's an interesting quote. Where did you get that from? So here is kind of like a link to the book, The Arts and the Creation of the Mind by Elliot Eisner. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing we can do with the brain. And we can also add all other things. Now, getting back to it, there are 3 major components in this article. And the first one is arts integration and language acquisition. The second is arts integration and second language learning. And the third one, which I think is the most poignant that I'm going to kind of go through, is principles of acquiring arts as a second language. Let me just make sure I am touching base on everything I want to. Yes. All right. So in the principles that are laid out, so they're kind of guided, they're absolutely guided by the same principles as second language curriculum and policy. And so this article proposes, if the second language and concepts are developed together, then an arts as second language policy is interdisciplinary, providing lessons in and about the arts based on a program of studies which learning through the arts in another subject. And arts as a second language policy focuses more on the process, aka constructing meaning, than the product or form. It builds on prior knowledge and experience by accessing current skills and abilities and designing arts lessons through artistic growth. It integrates the arts within a meaningful context and uses the art form for a purpose. It integrates social interaction, collaboration, discussion, and response as part of the process. It provides a supportive environment for artistic growth and expression, including adequate time, preparation, trust, and respect. It includes planning aesthetic experiences and provides opportunities to experiment with, play, observe, and explore within the art form. It advocates for a program of study in art, dance, drama, and music so students can be appropriately challenged with suggested grade level expectations, which is very important, the alignment, to guide teacher planning and assessment. And finally, the policy plans adequate time for artistic language skills to develop, including longitudinal development over the years. So again, reinforcing the alignment. Also consistency. Okay, so we have our three major components that the article is like laying out this proposal for investigation. And a little bit of backstory. So this author went and explored several different schools in Canada. And she found that the schools in the Saskatchewan region were much more successful in integrating arts integration because it was fully integrated within the schools. Whereas more of like the Ottawa area, they had programs and they had teachers that were very enthusiastic about including arts integration or arts-based projects within their curriculum, but it wasn't consistent. So through these observations, this author has come up with a proposal in order to successfully integrate art into schools and kind of using this parallel of it as a second language in order for it to be integrated successfully. Now, there are two common problems with this particular, with acknowledging arts integration within a school. And the first problem is that arts integration that is disconnected from artistic development, often based on entry-level lessons and limited development in the arts. And the other problem is discipline-based arts education that is disconnected from other learning contexts, often based on artistic outcomes and limited opportunity to explore learning through the arts. So basically what she's saying is that the biggest common problem is that the arts are separated from learning, and almost we'll see this in the limitation section too, but it's kind of like this privilege or this added on thing, and that's why it's the first thing to go within funding. The second thing is that it's not appropriately and equally integrated with the core subjects, and the core subjects often are still at a higher stature, so we got to look into that as well. Let's see here. There's a couple other things I want to mention first. So let's go back to my paper. All right. Okay, 4 limitations that kind of come up when you're trying to integrate this into a school-wide full curriculum policy. Her first argument is that without alignment, students can be trapped in a cycle of entry-level lessons with limited opportunity to develop deeper ways of knowing. She then goes on to say, with budgetary constraints, teacher knowledge and training is a potential pitfall. Art teachers see their position threatened sometimes by a truly arts integrated approach. So making sure that, the arts teachers and the specialists feel supported, and that, the focus just on the arts is not taken away from the art understanding and ideology of project-based learning within the classroom. And lastly, the arts are often subservient to the core subjects, as I was mentioning before, because of standardized testing and core subject curriculum, which can be seen to drive the agenda that the arts lessons accommodate. So in the same way that, you're instructing or you're teaching to the test, the same way the arts can be subservient to the core curriculum. So as a solution or a conclusion to all these different factors that are going into this proposal, if learners do not properly practice and consistently learn techniques and strategies in the arts, they will never be able to creatively communicate appropriately through integrated subjects. To be successful, each school requires specialized arts educator and a curriculum position to lead and co-design effective arts integration. Another component is that professional development in the art forms and in arts education curricula is critical. Teachers will need to understand the preceding curricula to build upon it, and there may be resistance to this. And I personally, as I am realigning and restructuring this progressive charter school into an arts integration format, yes, I have come across a little bit of resistance. Year one is just getting the teacher buy-in into this whole process. I was surprised to actually learn that I'm having more resistance from the parents and the community because I'm restructuring the library into a STEAM lab. So actually, those are some more components that maybe we want to kind of look at as well. Professional development will need to ease them into their own artistic experiences and be centered on a culture of experimentation, trust, and comfort with failure. Okay, that's where we learn. Without this, it'll be difficult to push teachers outside their comfort zones in such a way that they use the arts in meaningful ways. And lastly, I'd like to conclude this awesome, very inspiring paper, which I will definitely be using for my dissertation. Equal emphasis on learning outcomes in both the arts and core subjects, and equal value for both subjects as the core curriculum will lead to success. Ultimately, it is a call for pedagogical reform, with the warning that if we continue to neglect the artistic literacy of our students, we disable them from truly expressing themselves, and we are complicit in their silence. And so that's all I have to present on. I hope you enjoyed the brain application in showing the concept map of this really awesome article. Please let me know if you have any more questions, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your Labor Day. Bye.